And you let me know when you're ready, Naomi.
Ready? Recording now.
Awesome. So everyone, on behalf of GRAMMI, my name is Leo, and I have our other co-founders here on the call as well, Meredith and Dustin. And we want to thank you guys so much for being able to make it. We want to keep, this informational seminar as short and brief as we can because we understand how busy you guys are. Beyond this, we want to make sure you guys understand what you're getting yourselves into throughout the whole time. We want to give a special thanks to Naomi and Rick for putting this together for us. Very, very, very important for us that we connect with the Hawaii Rotary. The amount of influence you guys have in the community and the amount of impact your guys' civic duties have in Hawaii are beyond value. So thank you guys so much. Just going over, I'm sure Naomi shared this with you guys, just going over our agenda here so everyone understands and follows through with us. Today, we're going to be introducing ourselves, just giving you guys a background behind the story of GRAMMI, how GRAMMI came about. We'll give you guys a brief presentation so you guys can be able to speak to GRAMMI, to anyone that you guys know or any referral service you guys provide in full, and then address any questions you guys have. And then after this, address our call to action so that you guys may go out and provide the support that we hope you guys can. Are you guys okay with this? If you guys have any questions now, we would like to address that before we continue forward.
Sounds good.
Awesome. So my name is Leo. On this call is Meredith and Dustin. We all have significant ties to Hawaii. I myself am not from Hawaii, born and raised, or born in Texas, raised in California, went to UH Manoa. From there, I've always been tied to and have extended family in Hawaii. Meredith is originally from Canada. Again, the same, had accomplished schooling in Hawaii. Currently lives there now with her husband and family. And then Dustin was born and raised in Aiea, Hawaii, and now his family currently resides in Kalihi. So GRAMMI and the backstory behind GRAMMI, we'll go ahead and address here in our presentation. So, and now, Naomi, let me know if at all this does not share properly. Cool.
Good. We can see that.
Awesome. So we'll go here. Okay. Can you guys see that okay?
Yes.
Awesome. So the backstory on GRAMMI. So I myself had started or actually co-founded a nonprofit, 501c3 nonprofit called Hawaii Towards Zero in Hawaii to help provide support and aid during COVID-19. The Hawaii Rotary has actually helped and provided aid for us in order to accomplish our goals and achieve our mission with Hawaii Towards Zero. That continues to go on today. And what we see here is a mechanism that was born because of some of the issues that we had found through Hawaii Towards Zero. So what the issues I'm speaking of, there were 4 nonprofits that we had met and helped kind of integrate their back ends. And what they did was they currently deliver groceries for kupuna. The way that they do this, and seniors in Hawaii, the way they do this though, is they would actually pair up their volunteers with a single senior or kupuna in Hawaii, and then have them take their payment cards, whether that's a credit card, debit card, check, and go to the store and shop for them. For all of the founders of these nonprofits, that was a very insecure, scary way to go about addressing food security in the community. So in our discussions, it became very apparent that there was a need for some kind of platform that seniors could have access to, along with use to their advantage to ensure food security during COVID-19 coronavirus. And that's how GRAMMI came about. So GRAMMI, the name behind GRAMMI, obviously for us, it was a reference to the most influential figure in our families, our grandmothers, who was always there to provide food whenever the time may have called for it. So the obvious problem, because of COVID-19 coronavirus and the high exchange rates in shopping centers, it's no longer safe for seniors or kupuna to shop. They've even delegated what we now call kupuna hours, where it's a safer time for a kupuna to go out and shop, where they don't really fall into the traffic of everyone else who, kind of unnecessarily heighten the risks of coronavirus COVID-19. Our solution was providing a subscription-based grocery delivery for essential items. And the couple things we want to emphasize here. One, we're subscription-based, meaning we're offering the option of for seniors and kupuna to be able to ensure the amount of essentials in their house at all times. So this could be as flexible as weekly, bi-weekly, monthly. It's just to make sure they no longer have to worry about the art of shopping going forward. The second thing we want to ensure here and emphasize is this is only for essential items. So as opposed to what you guys may have heard of as Instacart and Amazon, we don't offer the entire stores. These are strictly for essential items in stores. And what you will see in our demos here coming later in the presentation is we've broken down the stores to what we believe to be the most important items in the store, and that's all we're offering. It's just to ensure the safety and food security of kupuna and seniors. How we intend to accomplish this. One, we've went ahead and created an entire website, an entire shopping mechanism where there are a couple problems we addressed immediately. One was on our website, there will be no marketing opportunities. There will be no way for any kind of scammers to have any presence or people or fraud artists to have any presence on our websites. It's literally just going to be our website. It's not going to be something, we're not going to be charging any third parties for advertisements or any of this. That's just to ensure that the seniors using our website, they're there for one reason and one reason only. There's no way they could kind of fall into some rabbit hole or into the next scam. The second way that this is going to be what we deem as senior friendly is we've taken out what Instacart, Amazon does in terms of the approach in trying to get you to add extra things that you don't really need to your cart. Literally, we're only addressing the essentials. Again, we're offering weekly and bi-weekly subscriptions for those who feel that that's needed. And then beyond this is we're offering the delivery services ourselves in-house. We're starting off as a volunteer program, and then we're going ahead and bringing that service in-house, paying those who volunteer. For obvious reasons, Hawaii's job market has been hit the most, some of the highest in America, and that's something we want to help address going forward. Our underlying magic. So one thing you guys will see here that I'm going to be demoing later is going to be that website that I talk about. The second part is we're launching a call center. And in this call center, all kupuna, all seniors are going to be able to call in and place their orders for groceries. So you don't even have to use the internet. You can just call in, use the number, and we'll place those groceries, we'll place those orders for you. The other piece of this is we're partnering with those in the community who are addressing these issues now. So it's not like we're kind of learning on the run. Really, we're just understanding the market in full prior to kind of jumping into the market. And more importantly, with partnerships within these nonprofits, we're addressing more issues than just food delivery alone. Some of the major issues for seniors in kupuna are, for instance, is loneliness. And this is something that we want to help provide through our call centers, provide through our services. And it's something that these nonprofits are already addressing in the community. This is what I wanted to show you guys here was just some of the research and some of the market demographics regarding kupuna and seniors right now in Hawaii. So according to U.S. Census, there's 260,000 in Hawaii, 20% live alone with an average income of around 60 grand. What we're finding though is 85% of those who we've surveyed live alone. 80% have access to a computer. Of that 80%, only 17 to 19% actually shop online. The two reasons they don't is because of credit card fraud or complexity. And then the third is of those that we surveyed, 42 had already agreed from the, at this point, it's a little over 200 surveys conducted, over almost or a little over 42% have already agreed that they'd sign up for this specific service for GRAMMI. So we were trying to figure out if there's a need. Obviously there is. Our market plan and how we plan on getting the word out. So obviously nonprofit integration, being able to work with those seniors out there and those kupuna who currently need these services. The second is that nonprofit organization I told you guys about that I had co-founded earlier this year. That's something that we're also looking to leverage. They've grown to the point where they have a lot of connections in the community, and I want to go ahead and leverage that on behalf of the Kupuna and ensuring food security for them. And then on top of this is the mass media campaigns that we're going to be launching in-house within GRAMMI. We have the ability to launch on every news network um, in regards to our launch campaigns, and then going forth with marketing campaigns that we have. And that's just something we wanted to make sure Hawaii Rotary knew about. You guys will be a partner that we intend on marketing, and on behalf of providing this kind of support for Kupuna, and that's something we wanted to make sure you knew. Our team. So who you're looking at here, Dustin and Meredith that I already introduced earlier, and then Lex, who isn't on this call now, he actually built out the technical pieces of our website. What I wanted to emphasize here is every single person here has a tie to Hawaii. If they're not born and raised there, they've accomplished schooling there, have spent over 5 years there, and have deep ties to Hawaii. And that's something that we really wanted you guys to understand. Some of which our experience here is at the bottom, just to ensure that the program you guys are willing to support, really built off of a strong foundation. Our local nonprofit partners that I told you guys and spoke of earlier. So the three other than Hawaii Rotary are our Kupuna Kukua, and Hawaii Help is on the way. All of these nonprofits are currently servicing Kupuna in Hawaii, whether it be through delivery, driving services, overall just providing masks or hand sanitizer. All of these nonprofits really emphasize addressing the issues of negligence against Kupuna. So this is something we really want to emphasize and work with within those nonprofits. Our partnerships, our retail partnerships. So we're finalizing partnerships with both of these stores. The reason we had targeted these three, or these two in general, after conducting our services, after conducting our surveys, we found the top 3 stores that Kupuna are shopping from. Number 1 was Costco, and tied for 2 was Times Supermarket and Foodland Hawaii. So there were 2 kind of reasonings behind going after both of them. One, Costco doesn't fit the subscription model. So if we go after Costco and say, hey, we'd like to offer your in-store brandings to our Kupuna, it's going to be hard shipping, a month's worth of food to every single Kupuna in Hawaii. What we did want to offer as an alternative is the top local brands we could find, and that's via Times Supermarket and Foodland Hawaii. So this wasn't kind of like a pick a ticket out of a hat kind of deal. This was more so understanding what the Kupuna want and providing that ourselves. As in regards to this deck and this presentation, that's the end of this before we jump into our video demos and show you guys the actual website I speak of. Were there any questions you guys had going forward? Were you guys okay to move forward? Awesome. So what I'll do is I'll start the video demo. And Naomi, if you can give me a thumbs up if you guys can see the video demo video. Awesome. So what we're going to be watching here is a demo of the actual website. And this is for you all to be able to kind of understand how this works, how we plan on getting seniors through our website. And this has nothing to do with the call center. So remember, the call center is on top of this actual product here. So what you're seeing is, again, actually, let me rewind this. A very simple welcome window. There are no, again, like I told you guys before, there are no ways to market. We will not be offering side marketing panels, none of this. All there is one button that says, click here to begin shopping. That's how it will remain for the existence of this website. Beyond this, we immediately have them fill in their information. Again, what we're trying to emphasize here is being as direct as possible. Just only asking for the information that we absolutely need. There is no need to kind of ask for any extra, interests or likes. All we're trying to do is provide shopping. So the way we've broken down the website, and you'll see here, we've broken down the online experience And we've kind of compared it to what you see in stores today. So if you were to go to Amazon or Instacart today, the first window when you log onto their websites, they probably offer you 50 different items on their catalog. For us, we felt like that was the equivalent of taking a senior and walking them into a store, and the store had put everything in one aisle. Very, very unproductive in our opinion. So what we did was we broke down all the items into separate aisles. So we're breaking everything down from, right here, we're just saying, hey, would you like drinks or beverages? And if you say yes, what's going to happen here is we'll literally offer you the most popular items that the stores are telling us Kapuna are buying during Kapuna hours. From here, they'll be able to add items to their list or decrease items to their list. They'll be able to select multiple items from that specific aisle, and then they'll be able to move forward. And when you move forward, you'll see, again, it's going to be another breakdown of another aisle. Now that we're done with drinks and beverages, now we address dairy. And then again, we offer the most popular dairy products that Kapuna are buying. Again, you can increase or decrease the amount of items per store or per section, and we move on to the next. For example, here's produce. And we're offering, at that time, the most popular produce offered. These pictures and examples here, those aren't going to be the only products we offer. What we showed here on display were just for our demo purposes. Going forward, we're also covering things like medication. So upon clicking on approval for medication, we'll offer some of the most popular items via medication for Kapuna and seniors. Here, we're going to be very transparent, show them upfront, okay, here's your items list, here's your receipt, here's how much everything's coming out to. We want to make sure you have enough of everything that you put in your cart so far. We'll give you the option to, again, accept, go ahead and go back and make changes, or just overall cancel the order. Again, just trying to be as transparent as possible throughout this process. For those opting in for the subscription process, you can let me rewind this. You opt in for weekly or bi-weekly subscriptions. What that means is every week that cart will be purchased, or every bi-week that cart will be purchased. What we're ensuring is those essentials you just put in your cart, you'll be able to have access to that throughout these uncertain times like COVID-19 coronavirus. This window here is also very important to us. Why? This is where we feel most seniors in Kapuna lose faith in online delivery, online grocery shopping, security, overall payment security. What we're showing here is there is no flashy way of doing this. We're just going to ask you for your card number, your month, year, and security code, and process that credit card information. On the other hand, for those Kapuna and seniors who don't have immediate access to those credit or debit cards, if they only have checkbooks on hand or some form of accounting, we'll also accept ACH payments. ACH payments will then ask for their bank account number, routing numbers, and bank account types. Again, just trying to make this as senior friendly as possible. The other part of this as well is having ACH is also a cheaper alternative for the grocery store. So we're trying to provide value for everyone involved here. Upon order placement, you're then greeted or concluded with a window, thanking them for their experience, and that's it. And that's the entire shopping experience as a whole. So some of the things we wanted to emphasize in both that presentation and that demo. One, we're trying to be the most transparent shopping and grocery delivery mechanism today. The second is, as you guys have seen in that flow of our website, we're very, very much different from the Instacart approach or the Amazon approach of, just trying to offer you as many things as possible for you to put in your cart. All we're addressing here is we want to make sure the seniors of Hawaii, the Kapuna of Hawaii, have the essentials they need. So that's all we're offering. And there is no catch. There is no, kind of how do we get them to buy more kind of approach. This is more so just ensuring food security. Were there any questions that anybody would have had at this point? Oh, go ahead. And Catherine, I think you might be muted still. Sorry.
Well, I guess I can chime in real quick. How are you going to teach these kupuna to use the computer and the website?
Yes. So for those who need to be taught, or for that matter, don't want to be taught and don't want to use the computer, we urge them to call into the call center. And what we can do via the call center is place those orders for them. So literally the kupuna can tell us, we can ask them, hey, are you looking for starch in this order today? And via, when they say yes or no, or say they say yes, we offer them all the starch selections we have via the website, and so on and so forth. So, if again, if there are kupuna and seniors who want to use the website and need to be taught or trained, that is a service that we're looking into offering via our call center. Oh, go ahead, Catherine, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. What about food stamps and SSI for paying for the food?
Yes, that's an amazing question. So food stamp, SNAP, EBT, there are many kupuna that accounts for a lot of kupuna in Hawaii who use this as a payment form in Hawaii. What that issue is above GRAMMI. So that issue is a state level issue. What's happening, and that's something that we're delegating for with local government, is we're urging them and pushing them to apply for that. So in order for retail stores to accept EBT and SNAP online, the state has to apply for a federal application in regards to accepting that. Upon that approval, each retail store will have to apply, each retail brand will have to apply to accept that and undergo those monitoring systems via their online websites. So GRAMMI on our end, we are urging our retail partners in the state to do so. What we are doing now is we're proving, what we're asking is that the kupuna who even pay with SNAP, we ask that they join our wait list and tell us, so that we can tell our retail partners, so that we can tell the government how much of a need this actually is. How many people who use SNAP, who use EBT, are willing to shop online? Let GRAMMI prove it.
So my understanding, Leo, is that currently the seniors who are on food stamps and all the other programs cannot use their food stamps for purchasing food. Is that correct?
As of today, that answer is yes. So what we've been doing so far, working with the nonprofits, what the government is near understanding and approving of is this authorization process. So according to local government, what they're close to approving is the actual event in which you can sign off authority to your SNAP or EBT card or food stamp, and an authorized user can go into the store and use your payment form to purchase groceries. Now, that in our case, that only solves half the problem, and that's something that we need to prove. What the government has responded so far to us in saying is, well, how do we know this is an actual need? How do we know that people with SNAP or EBT will continue to use online delivery? And so at launch, that's something we're looking to prove on behalf of those using SNAP and EBT.
Thank you.
Gail?
Thank you. I have several questions that all evolve around your payment system. I don't understand what the non-credit card option is. Is that someone who has a checking account and they write in the numbers that are on their checking account?
Yes. So what we've been told, so basically the way we conducted our surveys, we did it in two ways. We offered a digital form and had all of the nonprofit volunteers that exist today, we had them go out and conduct surveys. The second piece of the market research we did was we actually sat in on calls that the volunteers were having with kupuna. And what we found was when it came to the payment portion, like there are volunteers out there who use Instacart, use Amazon for seniors, like they'll process their payments for them online. For us, we thought, you know what, this is a great way to at least bridge the gap for now. Upon going and sitting into those phone interviews, we found that many kupuna didn't even have debit or credit cards on hand, most of which wanted to offer information from their checking books. So to accommodate that issue, we're offering that ACH alternative where all ACH requires is your checking number, your account or your routing number, and then the account type. From there, funds can be taken directly from your bank account the same way it would your debit or credit accounts.
Okay, so that means that the kupuna have to either have a credit card or debit card or a checking account. What if they don't have either? What if they used to go into their bank, they take out cash from their savings account, and they go supermarket to buy food? How do you deal with people like that?
Yes. So for the kupuna that actually work with cash like that, and you're right, Gail, that is a substantial amount in the market. For those, we'd ask them and ask the volunteers that they're paired up with now to acquire that information that we're asking of. So to be clear, that ACH portion at the payment window, that's not just for checking accounts. That accounts for all your accounts at a bank, whether it be savings accounts, checking accounts, alternative accounts that you set up. ACH accounts for that. Instead of debiting it from a card, it takes it directly from your bank.
So it could pull money from a senior savings account without them having to go to the bank in person to pull the money out?
Yes, as long as they have their banking account number, that routing number, and from there, or actually their contact information they put in, from there, that can be taken directly from those accounts.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. And the second question had to do with the food orders. I have been ordering from Safeway online for myself and my husband until things settle down a little bit. And he's comfortable now going and doing the grocery shopping for us because I don't leave the house, period. Is it the same exact food order, medicine order every single week, which doesn't make sense to me because yeah, you might know you need 4 apples a week and 8 bananas a week, but you probably don't need to have a bottle of Advil or cough syrup every single week. And I don't understand how that part works.
No. And that's a very, very valid point you're making. Not every single item will not be on the same subscription-based process. So like you're saying, yes, I might need 4 apples a week. Yes, I may need 4 bananas a week, but I don't need this pill bottle a week. I don't need a big bag of dog food every week. Instead, I might need those once a month or once every other month. We are indeed going to offer that option per item. What we didn't want to do via the demo was kind of just kind of demo every single feature and get you guys confused in the process because the demo was so long, right? So
okay, well that makes sense because that's kind of how we did it with Safeway. You'd order what you want online, and my order each week would pretty much be the same thing for the staples. I would want bananas, I would want apples, I would want eggs, but I wouldn't necessarily want to buy a bag of flour every week. So what I'm hearing you say is that your system's going to take that into consideration. So that's good. Could you talk some about option 1 that has nothing to do with the food ordering? Because that's what I was interested in. How do we make phone calls from our house to Kupuna just to talk story with them and see if they have any needs? How do we find out who those people are we should call, and where are we referring them to?
Yes, and that's very, very important. So the aspect of the call center and the call center itself, and that's something I wanted to make sure I didn't overdo anyone's time here with. There's a separate demo for the call center, and that will demo with those who are interested in volunteering alone. We didn't want to just bombard everyone who's just interested in information with every demo we had on hand. Via the call center, there will be 2 aspects of the call center. One will be specifically for grocery shopping, grocery delivery. The second, and these are things that we spoke to with Naomi and Rick about, is overall presence, overall this checking in process for Kupuna. And that's something we want to offer as the second aspect of our call center. There will be the same numbers you call into, but you'll be directed via dial-in, either press 1 or press 2 to be directed for these purposes. We'll have separate operators for both sections. And from there, Kupuna will know exactly why and what they're dialing in for. From this piece, from that mechanism, what we're looking to offer is both, again, shopping, and then on the second hand, overall, just anyone you want to be there and have an ear for, listen to, overall, just explore your situation, figure out if there are any other forms of support you need. That's something we're looking to offer now throughout that call center.
So will they have our phone numbers to call us, or will we be given a list of phone numbers to call them?
Yes, and that's also very important. So if anyone here is indeed interested in the call center, the way the call center works is we'll have a separate piece of instructions for you guys to take on the call center software we have. The call center software, very simply put, the call center software will, as soon as you guys download it onto your phones or however you guys are logging onto the internet now, that's all you have to do. It'll have already automatically set up on your phones or your computers. What will happen is for anyone calling into the call center, what will appear on your phones or your computers will be their number, and then under it will be the name of our call center software. That's how you guys will know this is somebody calling from the call center and not somebody trying to call my actual phone. There are several reasons that we've went ahead and chose this way to launch our call center. The first being the simplicity in setting up. We didn't want you guys to become, technical geniuses just to be a part of our call center. The second piece was we didn't want you to have to change your lifestyle to be a part of supporting GRAMMI. We wanted you guys to be able to work from home, clock in and provide our support and aid the same way you're doing on this Zoom call. We didn't want anything to change. They will be calling your phones, but it will be through an alias number. It'll be through GRAMMI's phone number.
So they won't actually have my cell phone number.
No, and that's for the privacy of you guys. They will be calling GRAMMI's number. They will press at this point dial 2, and dial 2 will take you to an operator standing by who's just there to listen. And that the way that works is, say all of us here were a part of the call center. It would literally just go from person to person until someone accepts and someone answers. Now you can also
I'm sorry, can you specify which days you'd be available? Because I'm in my Rotary Club meets Wednesday. I have my music lesson by Zoom on Wednesday. I don't want anybody calling me when I'm in a Zoom session for my music lessons or Rotary or,
No, 100%, Gail. And that's a great point you're making. That's not for you guys to worry about. That's for you guys to tell us, help us understand when you guys are available. And that's for us to schedule. That's for us to hard code into our scheduling books and ensure that there is, again, an operator standing by whenever anyone calls. So Gail, if you tell us, hey, I have an hour for you on Thursday, I have 2 hours for you on Sunday, and then maybe Wednesdays, I'll keep you updated, day by day. That's something for us.
Zero Wednesdays.
Well,
Okay,
Meals on Wheels, if we have something come up and we need time off, we just let people know and they'll get somebody to cover it during those times. To make it work.
Okay, so there would be a way to say, in my case, I'm going to be home. Anybody can call me on Mondays, but that's the only day that I could devote to this because of all the other things I've got going with Zoom.
Yes, and Gail, I'll go ahead and put you down now for Mondays.
Okay, works for me.
Real quick question.
Yes, Steve.
So number one, who is, obviously a senior is someone 55 and over or anything, right? But is this only limited to seniors or is it open to, like, say, handicapped and disabled and their caregivers?
100%. And that's a great point you make, Stephen. Here's why. Obviously, you guys have seen the build out of what we've built for GRAMMI. It's tailored to seniors in Kupuna. It's to make sure, one, they don't fall victim to credit card fraud, and two, it's to ensure that they can actually complete the process. Now, beyond that, we don't restrict. There is no window that says, prove to us you're a senior, prove to us you're Kupuna. And the reason why is because there may be kids, some of these seniors may have kids in the mainland that are just looking to make sure their grandmothers or their parents have the proper amount of essentials in their homes during COVID. So we want them to be able to process those payments for them. Otherwise, anyone else can be welcomed. We just want to make sure Hawaii knows, hey, we built something specifically for the most vulnerable market. And within this website, there is no catch. We don't want you to spend any extra money. Just make sure you have the essentials and leave it up to us to deliver that for you. That's the only point of the website. Beyond that, yes, you're right. There is no way to make sure everyone is a Kupuna or a senior. It's welcome to everyone. Go ahead, Gail.
I thought of another question. Is this technology only going to work by having the call center go to your cell phone, or could it be that it would go to your landline? Because
Yeah.
we live against the Koala Mountains, and I won't trust the cell phone for getting calls to come in. They
Yes.
drop all the time.
Yes, you're right. And again, the way that works on our back end is whatever phone number you provide us, that's what we can input on our back end. That's where the calls will be forwarded to. Now,
Okay.
ensuring your landline has caller ID is another story. So
My landline doesn't have caller ID. It's El Cheapo phone.
yeah, so if you indeed pick your landline, unfortunately, we won't be able to differentiate for you who is indeed calling from GRAMMI and who's calling your landline. That's the only issue there.
Okay, but if I pick up and I say hello and they say I'm calling for GRAMMI, I'll know it's from GRAMMI. If it's anybody else, it'll be anybody else.
Yes, Gail, that is the case.
But that would work. Okay.
If somebody else is going to answer the phone for you, you want to make sure they know that you could be getting calls from GRAMMI, so they give it to you. Yeah.
Well, there's just two of us here.
Granddaughter or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't trust the cell phone. It's good for everything. When you leave the house, it works fine from Honolulu, but it drops calls all the time because the colas just get in the way.
Yeah, no, you're right. And so we have the landline option for you.
Okay.
You can indeed just introduce yourself at first and let them know that, they're calling on regard of GRAMMI. So.
Okay, so whoever would call would say, I'm calling to speak to someone through GRAMMI.
Yeah.
Okay, that wouldn't be a problem then.
Okay.
Because honestly, anybody who calls me on my cell phone, it's probably a wrong number. There's very few people who get to use it. I use it for FaceTime because that's the only way I have to do FaceTime. But
Right.
that's kind of about it.
Right.
Hey, Leo?
Leo,
Yes, Naomi.
how do deliveries work? How does that happen?
Okay, and sorry, Naomi, real quick with Carol. So Carol, just to emphasize with you there. So what we do, there are multiple, pieces of GRAMMI in play. What we've just talked about now was the call center piece. Another piece that we're managing on the operational side is the deliveries. So for anyone who has agreed and wants to apply to be a delivery agent, what I'm going to demo here in the website will be, first of all, you have to apply. And what we're mandating at launch is a mandatory background check for delivery agents only. And that's for two reasons. One, we want to make sure that the kapuna who we have as users, we're only sending people with no criminal backgrounds to their house. The other piece of that is just ensuring that, the food that we're managing, the orders that are placed, we're hoping that they get from point A to point B in full. And we do that, we're managing that via background check. After we approve you, after you've been filtered through and approved, what we're going to do is actually train you, and you're going to download an app, and that's going to be a GRAMMI app. And this is not offered on the website. This is not offered to anyone else besides a delivery agent. And what that app will tell you is the amount of addresses you're going to deliver to on that day. And then beyond this, it's going to be, there's going to be a photo confirmation piece where the person delivering the groceries has to take a photo the same way FedEx and UPS does when they deliver a package to your house to confirm that that delivery was actually made. And for us, the timetables behind delivery, because we're subscription based, delivery will only be once a week. So, and that's also great for the volunteers. We don't ask that, on the delivery side, you just show up at random whenever a shopping order was made. We're pushing all deliveries to be made once a week, and they'll be made island-wide via all the volunteers. The volunteers will only have to volunteer one time a week, and that's to ensure that we can actually, provide a proper service for them.
That's great. Thank you.
And Naomi, I think you had a question?
A couple, so the deliveries are going to be made by Help Us On The Way and Kupuna Kukua?
So along with our kapuna. So all three of those groups we've been in discussions with, all three of those groups have made it apparent to us that a secure payment process, payment process platform was needed. So we created it. We called it GRAMMI, named it after those that we're serving. And then we're going ahead and telling them, hey, we have your payment process for the first 3 months. Go ahead and delegate the deliveries that you're doing now via our platform, have the transactions be secure. And then after those 3 months, we'll bring the delivery services in-house, pay them properly for their work, especially because by then, 3 months from today, that will be when the CDC announces the second wave to have hit. That's what they're saying now. And by then, the job markets will be in need for jobs, and we're looking to provide for that need then.
Okay, so we do have Rotarians that are with the Help is on the Way making deliveries.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to talk about the packaging of for the curbside pickup
Yeah.
and you need volunteers, and also the outgoing calls to
Yes.
seniors. Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
So our partnership with Hawai'i Rotary in general, the reason why we're having this call, we see the Hawai'i Rotary as members in which we would like our kapuna to have contact with the most. The reason why is because there's nothing like the civic duties of a Rotarian as opposed to a volunteer, a millennial coming forward and trying to connect with people. That's just not something we can guarantee service-wise. So there are two specific components of our operations we wanted and hoped Rotarians would come out for. The number one piece was call center. The reason why is because in terms of being able to hold conversations, be there, place orders, that sense of security, we wanted them to have in our Rotarians. So if any of you here would like to volunteer for the call center, that's something that we're really emphasizing out of this call. The second piece was curbside assistance. And there were multiple reasons why we felt this was great for Rotarians. One being, your branches are all over Hawaii. So if we could find a store branch near the branches that you're associated with or near where you live, that would be a great way to kind of network out that curbside assistance mechanism. Beyond this was and not that we're focused around marketing, but we would absolutely love the idea of being able to have pictures and facilitate connections that we're seeing, kapuna and seniors have with Rotarians out in the public from the storefronts of these stores, Rotarians being able to be the face behind, keeping them safe, keeping them in their cars when they go to stores. And I do want to be clear as to why we're offering curbside assistance in the first place. After conducting our surveys, we found that there was a substantial amount of kapuna who reported that going to a grocery store was the highlight of their week. That was something they looked forward to throughout the whole week. And we didn't want to take that away from them. So we're also offering curbside assistance. And beyond this curbside assistance, we're hoping that the person who provides their groceries at those storefronts are Rotarians. We want Rotarians to be the face of that. And that's something, those two components were the two pieces we wanted to come out of this meeting with for any of you that are interested. And if you guys have no more questions, I'll go ahead and jump into our website. The website's going to lead us right into our call to action, and then that'll conclude our call. Is that okay with everyone?
Can I ask you one more question?
Of course, Carol.
Curbside assistance. So if I say, yes, I want to do that, what does that mean I'm doing?
So yes to curbside assistance means that one day of delivery I had mentioned earlier. As of today, that day is planned to be a Sunday. And on Sundays, what we're offering, and again, that can change. It's going to be a weekend, but that can change between Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, depending on what we find out at launch. Curbside assistance means during the kapuna hours of shopping for that day, we'll have our curbside operators there to provide. We're already packaged up all the groceries and the orders, but a kapuna will show up, say that, mention their name. We'll go back to the storage rooms, find the order with their names, and come out and provide their groceries to their trunk, close their trunk, and that's the end of that delivery and that curbside assistance. And that's that at full.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Thanks,
I
Carol.
have another question, Leo.
Catherine, of course.
Thank you. Who's going to be shopping for these groceries?
So the way we're structuring it with the retail group, with our retail partners is, we'll let them know a week ahead of time the items that they need to have ordered. The reason why that's important is because, one, we're guaranteeing fulfillment, order fulfillment. So right now, if you were to shop, I think it might have been, maybe it was you, Gail, that had mentioned you use Safeway online. Right now, if you were to order via Safeway online, and say they don't have your order in stock, they'll probably ask you to replace it, or they'll have you just overall eliminate that from your with us, with GRAMMI, that'll never be the case. The only way that becomes the case is if a pallet is just missing on the shipping dock. But what happens is, with our retail partners, they'll have our separate items sitting in the pallet in storage rooms. It's Meredith, Dustin, and I's job, along with other volunteers, to show up the night before and prepare those orders. Those orders will be waiting on the day of delivery for either delivery agents to pick up or our curbside assistant operators to come in, pick up, and deliver into the trunks of our kapuna in the parking lots.
I got a question then. How can you guarantee that everything that somebody orders is going to be there? You couldn't get toilet paper for months, not from anybody.
Yes. So that supply chain issue, that was an issue that was global about a month ago. That they've solved those supply chain issues, and what we're figuring out now with our retail partners is what's the actual timetable that we're dealing with to ensure that we have full fulfillment, 100% fulfillment on day of delivery. And for us, the timetable they're giving us is a week. So all these payments we process a week ahead of time. It will only be a hold on the kapuna's accounts. On day of delivery, once that delivery is made out and we understand that every single item was accounted for, that will be the only payment made.
Okay, I have one other question before you go to the next step. On the email I got, the first option of helping had nothing to do with the call center. It said that we could volunteer to make outgoing phone calls from our home to Kapuna just to check on them, talk story with them, make sure that they're okay, and answer any questions if they needed further help. Is that still going to be part of this thing?
Yes, so that will be a part of the second piece of our call center. The first will be the shopping mechanism, helping Kapuna place orders via the call center. The second piece will be those who are calling in or outgoing calls to provide assistance, or not just assistance, presence during COVID-19.
Okay, but if I'm volunteering to make outgoing calls, how do I know who I'm calling? Is there a list that I'd be given?
Yes, so that the amount of instructions I had mentioned before that I'm going to be providing those who have applied for the call center piece alone, because we don't want to just provide that to everyone, right? Once you've shown us that you are interested in the call center, we'll provide you with all the information, all the instructions you need to be a proper call center operator.
So if I'm making calls from my home phone, from my landline, it's going to show up on somebody else's phone as it's coming from my landline, yeah?
Yeah, the only way we could actually have your number covered by GRAMMI's number would be if you call through your cell phone, because the software we use, it only aligns with your cell phone or your computer.
Okay, so if I get a list of names and phone numbers from your end, I can still call them once a week. Just check in. Hi, this is Gail. How you doing? Do you need any help with anything? And then if they need help with anything, what do I do? Where do I tell them to go?
Yes, and that'll all be listed in our instructions that we provide you.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Thank you.
Murray, you had a question there?
Yeah, about
sorry.
curbside
ahead.
service. Is that will only Rotarians be providing that service, or is that a mix of Rotarians and non-Rotarians?
So at launch, we're hoping to be able to prioritize the Rotarians. If indeed the Rotarians don't meet the amount we need, then we will be inviting non-Rotarians. But at launch, we're hoping that it's just strictly Rotarians.
And then will it be at least two or more people at the curbside, or is there going to be like a person working just by himself?
No. We look at this as this is going to be an operation for 2 to 3 people per store branch.
And can you choose the store where you want to do the curbside service?
We would like you to, yes, so that we accommodate you and your volunteers as much as possible.
Okay, thank you.
Stephen, you had a question there? Sorry.
Yeah, earlier in the call, you had mentioned that 40% of the Kapuna would be signing up for this service. And if we were to join the call center, what kind of call volume would be expected? Are we going to be doing like 10 calls a day, 100 calls a day?
So that's a great question. So, the amount of incoming calls, I can't tell you how much that'll be. We hope it's a lot. We hope it's too many, right? It's a good problem to have. And again, you guys here, the call center operators, would be answering those calls at your availability. So it's not like we're enforcing, hey, within these hours, we need you to answer every single call you receive. We just want to make sure we have operators standing by within those hours. If you're busy, if you're on another call, we will actually, Meredith, Dustin, and I, we will actually have a call log of abandoned calls, and we'll be able to follow up on those calls ourselves. So it's not like you guys need to answer these calls. You guys need to be there. We just want to make sure we make good on our word by saying we've provided proper operators for the call center. If you guys don't happen to not make a call, it's okay.
So is it going to be like other call centers? Like say if I call in and the phone rings, and then if somebody calls me and I'm on another call, it'll go jump to the next available operator, correct?
Yes. So the software we're using, Ring Central, I believe the amount of rings before it forwards over to the next caller is 6 to 8. After 6 rings on someone's phone, it moves on to the next operator.
Right. Or if it jumps to voicemail, right?
Exactly.
Val has a question. Val Smith.
Hi, I'm listed as Hunter right now. My son is listening in on this call, and he's a minor. That's why we had our video off earlier. He's 17 years old, and we were thinking that he could help to volunteer either curbside, or myself or my husband could help to drive, and he could deliver to the kupuna. It's still connected to Rotary because I'm the member, so I'm just wondering, is that a problem? Is that fine? I had spoken to Naomi about this earlier because he wanted to get involved since there's a lot of downtime right now with COVID. So I just wanted to get your feedback on that. And then if he were to do the deliveries, then would it be myself, my husband, and my son that needs the background check? And then how do we do the picture? So those are my questions.
Yeah. So first of all, we 100% would love to welcome your son to be a part of GRAMMI in whatever ways he can. There's no way we turn him away. What we would ask is for anyone being involved in your house, whether it be your husband or your son, even if they're non-Rotarians, to go onto our website. And that's something I was going to demo here shortly. Go onto our website, fill out the volunteer form. At the very least, GRAMMI just wants to know who's volunteering. We want all the information, not so much because we don't trust you guys, but because we need to be able to ensure the safety of the kupuna. And we're not saying your husband or your son are incriminating or anything like that. We just want to be able to have that information on hand just to make sure from an operational standpoint, we've checked all the boxes. So
okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
We actually pair up quite a bit at Meals on Wheels. It actually works really well to have 2 people. So when you can, that's it's helpful. It makes it easier.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And Gail, I'll take your question last before we move to the website demo. So I can
Okay.
yeah, go ahead.
Thank you. Again, it's involving the making outgoing calls. Could I set aside, okay, on Mondays from 10 to 11 o'clock every week, I'd be willing to make outgoing calls and set a date and a time limit rather than say all day Monday, because that could get crazy.
That's exactly what we're going to ask you to do. So we're going to ask you to provide a day and a time span if you're available. That way we can properly fit everyone in a schedule.
Okay, that sounds like it would be workable. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you want people to use the chat box while you're doing the video if they have questions they didn't get to ask?
Oh, that'd be awesome. Yeah, honestly, Rick, you probably know how to work Zoom much better than me. I'm
So
sorry.
if you move your cursor around on the very bottom, there's a chat box. It's got a little cartoon character thing there. You can click that open and you can write your questions there while we're watching the videos. And that way you'll for sure get to ask a question.
Look at that, Rick. You learn something every day. 100%.
I'm doing a lot of Zoom these days.
I'll be a better host next time, Rick. I'm sorry.
Great, yeah. Awesome.
Go ahead, Murray.
Yes, there are some Rotarians in my club that are really old. Can they use this program?
Oh, of course. There is no. We hope they can. We hope you refer them, Murray. Please. Again, the definition of a kupuna or a senior. Who knows what that is anymore? Right. And more importantly, we just want to make sure everyone here understands this was specifically built for them. That doesn't mean we're discriminating against anyone else. We hope everyone uses our platform. We just want to make sure Hawaii knows this was specifically built for the kupuna. This was specifically designed for the kupuna. We hope they can use this just as much as everyone else uses all the other platforms. So please, Murray, please, if they want to use it, please forward them over.
Thank you.
Same with family or friends, anybody you know that needs it.
Yes, yes. So what I'll do now is I'll share the website so we can go ahead and jump into the call to action. So what I will be sending out to Naomi and Rick to forward over to everyone here is a call to action form. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and share that form so we can kind of understand what that is at first. And then beyond this form, we will show you the website, show you how to actually do it before we leave here this call. So let's get you guys shared. So GRAMMI's call to action. Number one, for anyone interested, we ask that you go to our website, www.grammi.io, and fill out our volunteer form. To go straight to that page, it's www.grammi.io/volunteer. That's the first call to action. And fill out that form, register. We'll have all of your information. After registering, we'll know exactly how to reach you, contact you, provide you all the information you need for what you're volunteering for specifically. Aside from this, and this is something that Murray had mentioned earlier, if you guys know of anyone that would benefit from this, and again, the definition of a kupuna, very vague, very gray. Anyone who you believe would just benefit from this platform existing, go ahead and refer them to our website. As of today, we're considering it a wait list. And the reason why is because as long as we have their information, when we indeed provide these services, we'll already have all the hard part out of the way. The hard part will be out of the way in terms of gaining their information, signing them up, all that will be done. We'll just call them and say, tell us about the groceries you need. And then beyond this, let us know if you need to speak to an operator for any other reason. And so what I'll do now, just briefly, is demo the website. So what you'll see here, or actually, let me make sure you guys can see that screen. So what you see here is me log on to the website. Again, www.grammi.io. Again, the first screen you see is join our wait list for essential grocery delivery. So anyone anyone who's interested in our service, go ahead and have them press on this button. That'll take you straight to, filling out and becoming a part of our wait list. Otherwise, on this homepage, it just shows you the 2 retailers that we're partnering with. And then, so what we're asking you guys to do here, for any of you interested, go ahead and click on the volunteer tab. And the volunteer tab will be a short form. This short form asks for very simple information: full name, email, date of birth, address, number, and then some brief, questions that help us understand who you are specifically, what island you're located on, so that we know where to send certain services. Beyond this, tell us what you're actually interested in volunteering for. We don't want to send you all the information for everything. So as long as you specifically tell us how you want to participate, we'll go ahead and send that specific information to you. Again, like I mentioned before, for anyone that selects delivery driving, what we ask is that they provide us their license number and then that they agree to a background check. Every single person here is going to have to accept the background check. What we're fully disclosing with you guys is that at launch today, and probably for the next couple months, the only roles in which we're background checking is our delivery drivers. And that's it for the volunteer form. Otherwise, you'll see here other tabs in, regarding our wait list, a little background information on us, our team site for you guys to learn a little more about us. Otherwise, that's the only piece we wanted to leave this presentation here with you guys for. If you guys are interested, we 100% would love you guys to take the time to be a part of this. We ask that you guys go onto the website, go to the volunteer tab, fill it out, let us know how you would like to volunteer, allow us to follow up with you. So on behalf of GRAMMI, Dustin, Meredith, and myself, we thank you guys so much for taking the time.
One more question. When's your start date?
Yes, so we launch here at the end of the month. And what that means by launch is that's when we'll begin reaching back out to everyone who signed up on the wait list, placing their orders via the phone. That's when the website will change. You will have the opportunity. So the homepage here that says join the wait list, that'll be changed. It'll say shop now, and you'll be able to shop via our website alone. That'll be at the end of this month. Specifically, we're looking at around June 24th. Now, from there, the first deliveries will be made in July. Now, those first deliveries will then, from at that point, be weekly. So, or biweekly, or whatever you choose for your subscription. Now, did that answer your question, Carol?
Yeah, thank you.
So if anybody, if none of you had any questions going forward, again, thank you so much, guys, from the bottom of our hearts.
Leo, sorry, Leo. I think that Tina has a couple questions in the chat tab if you want to scroll over.
Okay, sorry.
Leo, in the meantime, I'm going to launch a poll just to get a temperature check on what people are interested in. Is that okay?
That'd be amazing. That would be amazing, Naomi.
Okay, I'm launching a poll if people can answer, please. And then you can go to Tina's question.
You see the question, Leo?
Yeah, that's amazing. Is that via Zoom as well?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, Naomi and Rick, you might have to put me through a Zoom training seminar here pretty soon.
You do enough of them, you get it down.
That's pretty awesome.
I think a lot of those functions are only available if you're the administrator for the room, though, right?
Right, the host. Mm-hmm.
Well, the chat box is available to anyone. Is that what you're asking, Stephen, or the survey?
No. I'm talking about all of the other features, like the adding, like monitoring who's in the meeting, and able to mute everybody, and also being able to throw up this survey. All of those things are only available if you're the host, though, right?
A lot of them. The participants, if you go down to the bottom, you can click on participants and it'll come up with the names. There's 27 people here right now.
Yeah,
And
Stephen,
then also,
Stephen, you're right. The poll comes only from the person who's running the meeting.
Yeah. And I guess another thing to note is, a lot of the controls are different depending on what platform you're using versus desktop versus iPad, or I'm on my mobile right now, and I can't see half the things I could do if I was on my computer.
Yeah, the mobile is quite limited with this.
And so now that the poll is complete, just to address Tina Murphy's question here, Tina, you bring up a great point. Being as transparent as possible, being able to tell them specifically when payments are being made that is not on the payment window, that is something we will add now that you've made that note. That is something we'll go back and add now. Now, to be very clear with you guys here on the call, this is how the transactions are placed. So there is a cutoff day of the week for orders to be placed in order for us to give retailers the proper amount of time to fulfill those orders. That cutoff day in the week will be Wednesday. The reason it's Wednesday, one, it's one of the more popular days for Kupuna to go out and shop. And two, we want to take advantage of all coupons in play at that point in time. Now, beyond that portion, payments will be made, or actually, I should say, a hold on that Kupuna or senior or user's account will be placed on their account Wednesday. That actual transaction won't be processed until the day of delivery for a couple reasons. One, like Gail and I had mentioned earlier, in the case that, for our case, in case a pallet goes missing and a certain product isn't in our Kupuna's carts, we want to make sure the amount debited that day is a proper amount. So we'll go ahead and adjust those fees that day. Otherwise, we also don't want any specific charges being made on our Kupuna's cards or accounts until we know delivery has been made. So those are the various reasons why we've placed the transaction process that way. Tina, did that answer your question? Awesome.
Quick point on that. Yeah, if say if they place an order on Monday and you put a hold on their account for whatever amount on Monday, but they're waiting for Thursday until they get their Social Security check, how does that affect things?
Yes, and 100% that will affect things. So in regards to scheduling and anyone who is waiting for certain checks to be in their accounts before processing these payments, this model will indeed be at their disadvantage. What we would ask them to do is reach out to us personally, call into our call center for us to figure that out case by case.
So they would actually have to physically have the funds in their account at the time of order?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, let me throw just a little wrench in. What if a Kupuna actually gets something that they want to return?
Yes.
Which
And
can
so,
come up. Have you thought of that?
yeah, that's a great question. And this is something that Meredith and Dustin and I have stayed up many nights looking to make sure we get right. So our refund process at the beginning. So in the case that on Grammy's end, we screw up a delivery never shows up. There are items missing from a basket, anything like this, any kind of assured, you know, dropping of the ball from Grammy side, we issue full refunds. So, and that's just to ensure our kupuna and our seniors, hey, on behalf of our services, we're looking to accommodate you in whatever way possible. In the case that you don't have a great experience with online food delivery or grocery delivery, let us be the ones to accommodate you better than anyone else.
Okay.
Now, in the case that they want to actually refund or a product and return a product, we're working with our retail partners now to figure out that process, how they do that after how they prove receipt forms. We'll provide receipts for them to walk into the stores with, et cetera, in regards to returning that physical product in person.
Okay.
Gail?
Are you, excuse me, is Grammy going to do the kind of thing that Safeway does? I put in my order on whatever day of the week. We pick when it's going to be delivered, which is usually about a week after we order it. The day that the order is going to be delivered, if Safeway doesn't have chocolate ice cream, or Safeway doesn't have half and half, or whatever was part of my order, I get an email from them saying, your order is expected to be delivered today between this time and this time, and these items were not available, and it adjusts what my bill has been charged for. So that when the order comes, I don't go, hey, where's my ice cream? Where's the half and half? I know before they drop it off at my front door, they were out, they didn't have it. Is Grammy gonna do that?
Yes, we will be adjusting your bills based on delivery day stock and inventory. Now, beyond this, what Meredith and Dustin and I are still deciding is whether or not an email is sufficient. So we're also willing to experiment calling ourselves and telling the kupuna so that they know in person, hey, we're from Grammy. We just want to make sure you know from us personally, not to expect your half and half ice cream. I'm so sorry to have to tell you, but otherwise.
Well, that's probably good because maybe some of the kupuna don't do email.
Yes, 100%. And that's exactly why we're experimenting. So,
okay, that's good.
Awesome. So if any of you don't have any further questions, again, on behalf of Grammy, Dustin and Meredith and myself, we want to thank you guys so much for providing us your time. Rick and Naomi will go ahead and follow up emails with the call to duty or call to action form so that everyone has that physically. And we look forward to touching base with everyone here soon.
Thank you so much, Leo.
Thank you.
Thank you, Meredith and everybody
Thank you,
else.
everybody.
Very positive.
Forward to this.
Good job, guys.
And Leo, Lee put a message in the chat that she already signed up.
Oh,
so thank you.
Thank
Lee,
you so much, Lee.
Leo, did you see Tina's questions? I don't know, is Tina still on here?
Yes, I addressed Tina's questions after the poll.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay. So we can get the word out to some of the organizations that we touch. So for instance, Catherine is on the neighborhood board in Waikiki, and so she can take a flyer. Are you able to make a flyer so we can give it to people who can sign up on the wait list?
Yes, I'll do that now. I'll go ahead and forward that to you guys now to make sure you guys have that on hand.
Okay. On the neighbor island, are you working with any stores on the neighbor island for grocery pickup?
Yes, so we will be working with Foodland and Time's full network of branches on every island.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Leo.
Guys.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good job getting it all in, Leo.
Thanks so much, Rick.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Naomi, if you're still here, are we sending something to the whole district regarding this?